have been said to have been put in place. Okay, hello, why are you laughing now? They said they put security measures in place to ensure a hitch-free governorship election. The heads of security formations in the state say they are ready to provide adequate security before, during, and after the November 18 elections. We have in the studio, in our Abuja studio, Garba Umar, Commissioner of Police, Anambra State, to tell us some more. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Mr. Omar, you've reiterated the preparedness of the security agencies to handle the situation in Anambra ahead of the polls. Just bring us up to speed on what's happening. What are this, because I understand you described it as achieve credible, free, fair, and violence-free elections.
Yeah, this arrangement and the security situation in the state has been ongoing for quite some time, some couple of months. As you are aware, we conducted 35 primaries for the 35 political parties that are contesting for the November 18th gubernatorial election in the state. And all the primaries were done successfully without any hitch. Securities were provided adequately, and were able to sectorize all the major areas in the state. And for the November 18 also, what we did was to look at possible areas. First, what are the flash points, the black spots? Second, where are the polling booths, their position and situation? We assess the situations of all these polling booths with the racks, that is registration area centers provided by ANEC. And then we look at our deployment. How many personnel do we need? And at it is, we have 3 senatorial districts. What we did was to identify in each of the senatorial districts possible major streets and black spots, flash points. And this we collated, and we discovered that we have 4,608 polling units. These polling units will be manned by 4 police officers each, 4 security agencies in each of the polling units. And when you multiply that, will give you about 16,000 thereabout. And also, what we did was to identify how many streets that we think we may have problem with. I sectorized the street, and then we discovered we have 414. Out of these 414, we deployed vehicles in each of the major streets, and then deployed men. And then the racks we have about 326. These 326 racks centers are the collation center and where we have the major problem. We also deployed enough personnel there. Then we look at the waterways. We have about 3 major areas where the riverine areas may pose a problem for us. We were able to secure the police boats. These boats will be used to convey both materials as well as personnel that will provide and enable atmosphere for the conduct of the election. And the Nigerian police is providing about 16 boats, while the Nigerian Navy, which is stationed in Onitsha, will also be part of the exercise. And also I discovered that we have 8 entry points from neighboring states such as Enugu, Abia, Ebonyi, Imo, and so on and so forth, and Kogi. These areas we were able to deploy personnel as well as military who would be at the point of entry. This we have done successfully. I also had a meeting with the INEC REC Commissioner, Professor Oji, and he gave me the number of, we have about 21,000 workforce, ad hoc committee, workers from the INEC, including about 15 to 16,000 NYC. Others will come from the tertiary institution. We have identified places where we can place them for the movement, giving them security. We'll convey them from one place to another. The buses that will be used are adequately also provided with enough security.
Mr. Omar, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon to butt in. This all sounds very good, but how confident are you that the presence of so many security agents will not deter people from actually coming out to vote?
We had a kind of we have a meeting with the stakeholders, and it's not the question of the number of personnel that will be done. You know, if you look at what happened in Edo, the success in Edo, Ondo, Ikiti, and so on and so forth, even the number of policemen that were provided are much, much higher. This is to make sure that every individual, every voter that comes out to vote has confidence that there is enough security. Don't forget, some group of individuals or group of individuals who threaten the peace or the conduct of this election are not relenting. And we are keeping watch. We are watching their activities. We are trying to make people feel free, safe. That will not be, I assure you, that people will have confidence on the security. They are aware. You know, Anambrarians are law-abiding citizens. They believe in security, and for long we have been enjoying that. So I think it's not going to be a problem, I assure you.
Okay. Last week we had some Anambrarians here with us who told us that so far campaigning has been peaceful. Everything seems to be peaceful in the state. So why do you need to deploy so many personnel?
Peaceful is a relative term. Providing security is another thing. On the eve of the election, you don't just roll out all your troops. We have, as I told you, there are 3 senatorial districts. And these 3 senatorial districts, apprehension may come as a result of those who are calling for the boycott of the election long time ago, before their prescription. And they have seen the number of security in the state that are patrolling, are giving them confidence. You may look at it at that. The actual number of each policeman as in a polling unit is 3, provided by ANIC. It's not the police that is saying this, you can deploy as much as possible. And if you times 4,608 with 3, just imagine the number. And if you look at 326 rack, that is where the area, the registration area centers, whereby all the collection will be done before the final collection at the center. You will discover that you needed more than what I've just mentioned. We are being careful, and the people are being informed, and they are good to go, and they are happy with our system of deployment. And I assure you, the security is not a threat. Okay. Rather, the threat that may come will be taken care of by the security. Okay,
Ms. Omar, we'll take a moment and we'll be back to continue this conversation. Please don't go away.
They all conducted their primaries. We monitored the primaries, but I also wish to draw the attention of civil society to the action of 2 political parties. I wouldn't mention the names here. I mentioned it when we met with the political parties about 2 weeks ago. We monitor the party primaries. We know those who emerged as candidates from the primaries. But somehow, somewhere between Oka and Abuja, 2 parties substituted the candidates. The names that they finally submitted to the commission are not the names of candidates that emerged from the party primaries which we monitored. Again, the Electoral Act says that if that is done, INEC has no power to disqualify any candidate nominated by his or her party. But 35 political parties are in compliance. What transpired at the primaries is what was actually transmitted to INEC. But 2 political parties changed the candidates. Those who emerged from the primaries are actually not the candidates whose names were eventually submitted to INEC. But we said that if any of these candidates wins or the matter is challenged in court, we'll go to the court and present the true record of what transpired at the primaries for the court to determine what to do. We will never defend what we cannot defend. We will never defend anything that did not correctly transpire at the party primaries.
Continue to woo the electorate to win their confidence and their votes. One of the major parties in this race is the All Progressives Congress, APC, fielding Mr. Tony Nwoye as its flag bearer. The Deputy Director General of the campaign organization is confident that the APC will get to every ward in all the local government areas while the campaign window is still open.
We are going to break through a legitimate and constitutional way through our aggressive strategy to make sure that at the end of the day we will not just win this election, but I can assure you of one thing: we are going to win overwhelmingly and resoundingly.
In a similar development, the women's arm of the People's Democratic Party is
PDP is promising human capital development. Human capital development. PDP has a heart for the people, not just for the office, but for the people of Anambra State.
The political party leaves nothing to chance, involving everyone in the campaign for the governorship seat.
Candidate Dr. Zeluka Obaze has promised that education from children to JS3 will be free in Anambra State.
We are not in an administration of signboard and posters. Walk the walk and talk the talk. And that is what Iho and Lady Alexandra will do. She is one of yours, so she will not disappoint you.
But in this election, inclusives have given full assurances that the exercise will certainly be hitch-free.
Welcome back. Mr. Umar, so I did a little bit of calculation based on the statistics you reeled out. Over 4,000 units, that's 16,000 personnel, 4 per unit, you said. 414 streets, so you're going to deploy cars and vehicles to those, motorized vehicles to those, or motorized units to those areas. That means each unit is going to be a minimum of 4, a minimum of, let's say, 2 people per vehicle. In the 414 streets, that's double that. So we're looking at like 828 people, personnel on that side, motorized units. Then 16 boats. Let's just say each boat has a minimum of 5. So that's 5 times 16. My mathematical skills are not that sharp yet, but I'm coming. So if we look at this amount of personnel you're redeploying, is it because of the rumors that IPOB is planning to disrupt the elections, or are you looking at other things that are of concern to you?
Yeah, I just want you to know that security is all about preventive action, or situation. When you are calculating the number of, I'm just like you, the mathematics are not there, but I know the number of personnel that we have earmarked. But however, I just want you to know that the normal process of policing, there are so many villages, so many towns, so many situations. It's not a particular place. It's about a state that has 21 local government areas, and each of the local government areas, they have so many various divisions and area centers where the exercise will take place. So we look at all those and we say, look, we cannot allow any opportunity. It's better we do massive deployment than to allow things to go. Then later we'll begin to say, no, we have not done that. We have been working on this. I assure you that our calculation, our work is in conformity with what is required by the electoral law. Okay. We cannot never go against that. Okay. But if on the aspect of the security and the deployment, we look at all the angles, all the areas, the possibility. What can we do to prevent, a preventive action in the event of any eventuality? That is how it is. And I assure you, we are on ground. and it will be done the way it should be, so that everybody will be free to come out and cast his vote.
Mr. Omar, there are those who would think, who will see this as a show of force, but they would have expected that what the police should be deploying will be more like awareness and the buy-in of the people, so that the people are part of the security apparatus, not just the deployment of personnel. Did you in any way interface with the citizenry? I'm not talking about the political class, because we do know that you've had meetings with the political parties. Did you interface or have meetings with the residents, the electorate, talking to them and informing them of what is expected of them, so that you didn't need to deploy this amount of force?
My brother, we have gone beyond that. Not only the electorate and then others, all stakeholders, including the, we engage what we call community policing. We make sure that the youth, different organizations, including the civil liberties organizations, the media, the town hall meetings, the aspirants, guys that are involved, the youth, tertiary institutions, and so on and so forth. We have a dialogue, we have a meeting. This is an outcome of what we all discuss in the meeting. The requirement as provided by ANIC, we need 3 security agencies at the polling units. That is INEC requirement, and we cannot give less. It is even better to give them more, because when you give less, in the event of anything, the security will be challenged or will be blamed. So we go by the rule. We go by the law. We never go out of the context of the law, because that is what is the requirement. However, the other ones that you are talking about is the normal procedure of policing. You reach out. You can't see massive deployment. You will not see, on that day, what you will see is handful of policemen in various places where they should be. But the normal activities are out. And don't forget, on that day, there will not be movement. Shops will not be open. Movement will be restricted until a certain time. So there must be a way. And most of the areas in the state are commercial centers. There are so many activities that are which are closed down, and the police ought to provide adequate security to those areas. And I want you to understand also that institutions, government parastatal, and so many, it is our job on that day to protect them. Because if you say you are only going to the polling booth, or you are doing this and that, and you are forgetting other essential utilities and individuals' property, government properties and institutions, you will tend to make mistake. And that is why we are taking it serious, my brother, to make sure that what we are providing is the best for the state. And as I told you, Anambra, for quite some time, has been cool because of the deployment of the security. And I know their confidence, and they needed us, and they are in conformity with us, and they welcome, we discuss, and we agreed upon with all other security agencies, and including the stakeholders.
My partner asked you a question which you didn't seem to react to, if it was because you had heard the rumor, which is rife, that IPOB was planning to disrupt the elections on that day.
Yes, my sister, we are not unmindful of that fact. You are very correct. I mentioned it much earlier. They are proscribed, but they are working assiduously. They are doing everything, and we are on track. We are monitoring them. And, people will be thinking, look, these guys are telling us not to come out. These guys are telling us there will be problem, but there will be that, there will not be security, nothing. You have to assure members of the public, there will be security. There will be enough security for them to come out and cast their votes. And I agree with you, and I agree with my friend over there. Yes, I cannot run away from the fact that we have that information, and we are mindful of that fact, and that is why we are taking this deployment further.
Okay, so if you have a word for the people of Anambra, what would you be telling them?
That's a good one. Just as in the Anambrans, they have firm belief in the security agencies in the state, that they can deliver and that they can provide security for them to exercise their franchise. And I'm appealing to them. For those who think that they can import or bring about thugs into the state, we're appealing to you, do not, because we have all what it takes, and we have information, and we're advising them just as we did in the primaries. Don't come to Anambra. Clear away. Allow the electoral process to pass without hindrance. And we assure you that even you who do not support, you have the right to say, no, I'm not coming out to vote. But please, don't stop others. And for those who are in the system, play by the rule. Go by the game. Would not have problem with any of the 35 political parties if you do that. We will give you an enabling situation to do your best so that you can elect a leader. Thank you.
Ms. Omar, that sounds like a very apt message to the residents of Anambra State, and as you call them, the Anambrarians. But just another one here for you. There believed to be a lot of vigilante groups in there. Are they also part of your security apparatus?
No. Let me thank you for that question. This is another message that we need to say it out. You see, the state, they have a law, legislation backing the formation of the vigilante group, whereby they can bear arms that are not prohibited. They will not, and we will not allow them to be part of the exercise. Reason? Some of them, even though they are registered with the police, some of them are attached to individuals. Just like the Nigerian police and other security agencies who have informed them, all personnel attached to individual and companies will be withdrawn. Nobody, no matter how big you are in the state, will come out with an escort or with a vigilante. Vigilante will not follow you, will not bear any arms. Nobody, everyone will come out as an individual. We have enough security for you to go and cast your vote. We will not allow any organization other than the one that are identified and approved to come out for this.
Does this include the incumbent governor? Does this include the incumbent governor?
Go ahead.
So does this include the incumbent governor? No,
he has immediate. He can only come out and vote and he goes back to his house. He can't move around. He's entitled to security. That one is normal. It's his right to have security.
So he will come with his own security.
He comes out and vote and goes back to the government house and wait.
Okay. All right. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So that is it. As I said, he's entitled to, yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Umar, go ahead.
Okay, so all the vigilantes, all other security agencies and everyone and them that are not part of the exercise will not be allowed to show face. They should remain at home. And if they have any reason to come out, they should inform us. If there is any problem, they should inform us. We are also going to have stakeholders meeting at the second phase of the stakeholders meeting, which is coming up on Tuesday in Oka. And then the final one where all the gubernatorial candidates will come out, will listen to us, will read our riot acts, and then possibly the Inspector General of Police or the DIG operation will be in Oka to address them so that I will also talk to them. So these are some of the procedures we have taken. But I assure you, will not allow any quasi-security organization to come out and say, I'm an escort to that, or I'm protecting somebody, and he goes to the polling booth with arms. No, we will not allow that. And it's not allowed by law also.
Okay.
So you're also saying that your people will not even be armed in the polling units?
Of course, no. My brother, they can't be armed. Nobody is going to be armed at the polling unit. Where we have that is what we call quick rapid response teams. These rapid response teams, they will be stationed far away from the polling units and polling booths. They will not be seen visibly at all until if there is any eventuality, they respond adequately. Mm-hmm. This is how it should work, okay. And this is how it is going to work.
You said that you're going to have a meeting and you're going to read the Riot Act to the political class. Now, have you also read the Riot Act to your men? Because sometimes we hear that some of your men are complicit in acts that actually compromise the integrity of the elections.
The Riot Act, my sister, has been read to them, and the final Riot Act, which they will endorse, will be done 2 days or 3 days to the election. Because we believe that every one of them, each of the security, including other securities agencies, luckily enough, I'm the chairman of all the security agencies in the state, from the military, the DSS, the civil defense, road safety, and we are working hand in hand, and they know the Riot Act. Anyone that does anything contrary to the laid down rules and regulations, he will have himself to blame. Because we believe in the son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, that the father shall bear the iniquity of the son. You have to fight. You who commit, you will answer for your deeds come any day that such offense is committed. That I assure you. So everybody is quite aware of that. And our men are conversant with that. I do not, they know. And the officers in the state know that I will never, ever allow any one of them to commit any offense. And if you do, you go in for it and you will answer for it. That is definite.
Okay, Mr. Omar, just as we wind down, there was that incident that happened in one of the campaigns where some people were allegedly killed, about at least 2 people or thereabout. Is there any update on the investigation?
My brother, that is not true. That is not true. I don't know about that. The one I know was there was an incident that involved somebody that was driving a Camry car, and he was coming, his car was flagged down, and he refused to stop. The police chased him, and there was pandemonium in the process. He was shot and killed. So the mob, attacked an oncoming vehicle belonging to a bank. The driver escaped, and they set that hillock on fire. And that was how when one guy coming in a trailer from the north, when he saw the crisis, he got afraid and then jumped from that trailer, and then an oncoming car crushed him. So there were 2 dead bodies. People were speculating it was a political parties. There was nothing like that. Nothing like that. It was not political parties. We don't have crisis on that in the issue of politics. What happened was what I told you, and that's a fact. And even those who are involved in that shooting are policemen, and they are under detention, and they are undergoing investigation. That is the truth situation. It has nothing to do with politics. But people can go into social media and say whatever they want to say. But clarification is made, and I think I spoke to even one of your correspondents who has been a good friend of ours in Oka. All of them were there, and I addressed the situation, and I gave an explanation to that effect. There was nothing like political killing or anybody being killed as a result of politics.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garba Umar, Commissioner of Police, Anambra State, even as you go preparing for the elections. We wish you well. Sunrise will be back in a moment.
Welcome to Forstview Luxury Hotel. At Forstview Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit Forstview Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeline Mishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.forceviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. Forstview Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.